to not just defeat a Republican. He had to defeat a Republican and the old guard of the Democratic Party at the same time. He was fighting a war on two fronts and not just one. And he still won resoundingly. And I think the message that that sends is that the Democratic Party cannot last much longer by denying the future, by trying to undercut our young, by trying to undercut a next generation of diverse and upcoming Democrats that have the parties, the actual party, that are actual electorate and voter support.
So last night was a big night for Democrats, and Zohran Mamdani pulled it off. We all knew that he would. I felt pretty confident yesterday as I was making my post on social media and saying he's going to win this when he wins this. I felt pretty confident in that because people are waking up and people are getting behind his message. And his message is not a new one. His message really is the foundation of the Democratic Party. And that's why that I started off this video with AOC making that point, that Democrats needs to get back to who they were, and Zohran Mamdani is absolutely laying out the blueprint on how to do that. So last night was historic. He toppled not only the Republicans, but the Democratic establishment as well. And I just think it's high time that people wakes up and realizes this is the future and this is where we're headed. Now, we're going to talk later on about how Mike Johnson's trying to spin this. And we knew they would, trying to spin this, that it's not that big of a deal, but it is a really big deal. And last night when Mamdani gave his victory speech, it's the first time since the election of 2024 that I've truly felt hopeful. It's the first time that I watched something politically and wasn't absolutely depressed out of my mind. So I know that it was a big night for a lot of us, and we're going to talk more about how we have to keep that energy. But let's go right here to where Mamdani said that there was a message that was sent, and he had absolutely toppled a dynasty.
My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. Cuomo only the best in private life. But let tonight be the final time I utter his name. As we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. New York, tonight you have delivered. For change. A mandate for a new kind of politics. A mandate for a city we can afford. And a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that.
I love how he said, let this be the last time that I ever utter his name. And when he said that, I said to myself, I can't wait for the day when we can say the same thing about Donald Trump. We can stand up and say, you know what, he's gone, and may we never utter his name again. To anyone out there that thinks we get a kick out of talking about him day in and day out, we do not, and I can't wait for the day that we're no longer talking about Trump. But Mamdani is absolutely right there. The MAGA movement is a movement that has abandoned so many people. It's a movement that has left so many people in the dust and does not care. It only helps a few, and the only ones that it actually helps is the oligarchs. The only ones that it actually helps is the billionaire elitists, the people that sits around with Donald Trump at his Great Gatsby-themed parties that the followers at the bottom of the totem pole will never, ever get a chance to ever hang out with Trump or be in that class of people. And that's why it's so sad to me. It's one of the reasons why that it's just truly so sad when I look around and see people rooting for a guy who only has his billionaire elitist buddies' best interest at heart. But this was one of the best speeches that I've seen in years. This was Obama-level energy and Obama-level good. And that's high praise because, I consider Obama to be one of the greatest speakers in the history of the United States. And when he's on and he brings energy, nobody's better. But Mamdani is not far behind, and I just love this clip. This is the clip that when I seen it, because I was watching it live as it happened, and I said, this moment right here, this is the viral moment. This is the moment that we're going to be talking about for a long time to come.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. Taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
That truly was a really badass moment, and I got chills as I sat there and watched it. I thought maybe finally the tide is starting to turn and people are waking up. And you got to ask yourself, do you think there is any establishment Democrat anywhere in this country that could have got that type of response? That's why going forward, I think it's very important that we continue to keep steering the conversation where it needs to go and bring the Democratic establishment around to understanding that they're not going to win again unless they get behind someone like a Mamdani who is pushing the message that we've been asking for this entire time. It's time for the establishment to read the room and read the energy right there last night with Mamdani. But I want to show you how Donald Trump is trying to spin this. This is absolutely hilarious. To me, this is pure comedic gold that he would go on his little Truth Social platform and post this. Happy anniversary, everybody, because, hey, I won an election last year, so happy anniversary. On this day, November 5th, 1 year ago, we had one of the greatest presidential victories in history. Such an honor to represent our country, and our economy is booming, and costs are coming way down. Affordability is our goal. Love to the American people, President Donald J. Trump. So, our economy is not booming, and he's doing a Dollar General Mamdani impression right there by trying to be like, oh, affordability is our goal. That's what we're going to be working on. Well, why haven't you been working on it, and why is the government shut down? Explain that one. And explain why that your main priority is building a ballroom that your followers will never see the inside of. Explain why remodeling your bathroom and taking like 25 pictures of it. Who else around here ever got to do anything like that? I don't see other people, around here, showing me 25 pictures of their new marble golden bathroom. I ain't seen none of that. I ain't seen nobody in Appalachia here where I'm at. I've looked all over. I can't find a Great Gatsby themed party at a big palace. It don't exist. So once he realized, oh shit, Mamdani actually got out there and connected with the people because he didn't lose the plot and I did, then he's like, oh, by the way, the economy is booming, BS. Prices are down, BS. And affordability is our goal. No, the only goal Donald Trump had was to continue to empower his rich, elitist, oligarch buddies. And I'm always going to frame it that way because that's what it is. Donald Trump is really good, love him or hate him, he's good at framing a bullshit narrative by repeating the same talking points over and over. All he has to say is radical left lunatics, radical left lunatics. It was the Democrats. It's the Democrats' fault. That's all he has to say. So we always have to circle back to he is only in this for the billionaires, he's only in it for the elitists, he's only in it for the oligarchs, and he only plays the people at the bottom against their own self. So we're going to keep cooking here with a few more clips from this Mamdani speech because it was absolute fire. And here he talks about it is time for the Democrats to shine.
Too many working people cannot recognize themselves in our party. And too many among us have turned to the right for answers to why they've been left behind. We will leave mediocrity in our past. No longer will we have to open a history book for proof that Democrats can dare to be great. Our greatness will be anything but abstract. It will be felt by every rent-stabilized tenant who wakes up on the first of every month, knowing the amount they're going to pay hasn't soared since the month before.
And again, the reason why that he is connected is because he is talking about the struggles that people are going through. And also, I'm going to play you one more clip because I think this one is very important for everyone to understand. One of the reasons why that he caught on so much, and one of the reasons why we can win if we will continue to follow in the blueprint that he's gave us, you have to stand up for everyone. You cannot leave anyone in the dust.
We believe in standing up for those we love. Whether you are an immigrant, a member of the trans community, one of the many black women that Donald Trump has fired from a federal job, a single mom still waiting for the cost of groceries to go down, or anyone else with their back against the wall, your struggle is ours too.
I tell you what, he is so spot on with his messages when he says, his messaging when he says, your struggles are our struggles too. You know, he always circles back and points that out and says we and not me. Donald Trump always talks about himself, and then he talks about how America is going to be rich. If he ever talks about America, it's that America is going to win and it's going to be rich. But his followers and the people that vote for him, they still struggle paycheck to paycheck trying to figure out how to pay their bills. And they can't seem to get ahead in the world because they just keep chasing after that carrot that Donald Trump dangles in front of their face. He keeps them fighting culture wars, and they think, oh boy, as long as we fight these culture wars, everything's going to be great. Well, it's not. And we have to keep circling back to the issues at hand. Now, last night was a big night for Democrats, but I think it's very important that we keep that energy and we keep the eye on the ball. And I do believe that Mamdani has absolutely laid the blueprint for where Democrats go. It's what people have been calling for a long time. I'm not trying to go back and rehash the past. I don't want to sit here and point fingers and blame people or anything like that. But when you go back to 2016, Bernie Sanders was going around filling up stadiums. He had a massive following behind him, and people wanted that message then. And we tried to go another way. That didn't work out. We ended up with Donald Trump. Here we are today with him again. And we're not going to be able to go back and just use just a corporate run-of-the-mill Democrat and say, hey, give us, it's this person's turn now, so give that to them. It's not about the old guard. It's not about whose turn that it is next. It's not about who the powers that be wants to see it be next. It's about the people. And instead of saying to the people, here's what we're going to give you and call that democracy, you need to listen to the voices that Mamdani has absolutely riled up. It's good to see it. And I think, there's some people say, well, that's just New York City. That don't really mean nothing, Brando. That's just New York City. No, I really do believe that is a blueprint for what's going to happen around this country. More and more people are feeling it. And even though I've never been to New York City and I'm never going to live there, I know so many people that I talk to every day that's like, hey, we want what that guy's doing. We want that messaging. That's what we're gravitating toward. And so we just have to keep focused. We have to keep our eye on the ball. We have to keep moving forward. Keep that energy. I always say to people, if you get angry, you get fired up, and you get ready to vote, that's great. But just because you win does not mean you ever take your foot off the accelerator. Just because you win does not mean that you back up. I always use the boxing analogies. When you get someone on the hook, you have to keep them there and you have to go in and get the knockout. You can't sit back and let them get their feet back underneath them and get back in the game. We've done that far too many times. So going into the midterms, we have to keep that energy. Going into the 2028 election, we have to keep that energy. And I don't care if we absolutely blow MAGA out of the water and dog walk them in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 elections. We have to keep that same energy on the 6th one. It has to stay there. And you have to go back and remember how mad and pissed off you were when you realized that another one had got away from us, and we cannot let that ever happen again. So I appreciate y'all so much for your support here on the channel. We had a good night. Now let's just keep that energy.